Hello, and welcome to this edition of Get to Know Joy's Casa, which means get to know Joy's house, which means we've run out of places to shoot. Yes, this is my house, and this is my candle corner. I do like lighting candles in the middle of the day when it's broad daylight out, and yeah, why not? I like candles. I also want you to know that I don't just plug unicorns for the site. I legitimately do love unicorns, and every day I say hello to my little friends that I'd like to introduce you to. This is Stephen and Jerry. Stephen is with a P, Jerry is G-E-R-I. They do not like their names misspelled. So anyways, welcome to mi casa. And the great Ask Joy question that I got was from a woman that said, I want to build a solid foundation of a relationship, but I don't want to overwhelm a man with my emotions. And I first want to say that I don't like that as women we get this rap for being overly emotional. I think both men and women were designed with strong feelings and sensitivity and emotions. But where we can see general differences is oftentimes in how women process their emotions and how men process their emotions. We know that it's healthy for a lot of women to be able to verbally process and talk things out with their girlfriends. And we know in conflict that generally if a woman feels safe in that conflict, she will want to come full circle. She'll want to bring resolve to that conflict by saying, you know, this is how I was feeling, this is what happened, and they come around. Many men know how to do this, can do this, but don't necessarily have the same need to process all of their emotions verbally. And so then when you get into a relationship, if one does something one way and the other does something another way, it can overwhelm them. And that's where I think that you're probably getting either a nonverbal or a verbal response from the man in your life that's going, I don't know if I can handle all this again. So for you, I would encourage you to just say to them, hey, I recognize that this is overwhelming to you, and I recognize that you don't need to process things the way that I do, but will you just know that you're the one person in my life that it really means a ton to me that you hear me out on this, and I just want to thank you so much for those times that you take to process with me. I want you to be that person. And as I've been talking this through, my camera guy even affirmed, he said exactly, he's like, if a woman just told me that it meant a lot to her when I listen, I would totally be there and I would get a bowl of popcorn and ice cream or whatever she needed. But it's that recognition of him going, okay, she understands that this isn't the way that I process, and she honors me in that and shows me that she needs me. So that would be my encouragement to you. And guys out there, I would encourage you, when a woman does keep coming to you with her emotions and you are feeling overwhelmed, know that it's because she really cares about you and that she feels really safe with you. So it might be overwhelming, but you should filter it as an honor because she likes you. But I think one of the things that both of us, men and women, can do when feelings are really strong and really real is to ask ourselves a couple questions. And the first is, and these have been really real in my own life, because oftentimes if I feel something really strongly, I just react, you know? And so what you can do is you can say, okay, God, like, should I take the time to process this on my own? Do you want me to come to you? Do you want me to look at your word and what you say about this? And just wait, because maybe you might not feel the same way in a week. And so often if we're feeling something, we just want to pick up the phone and talk to the person that we feel safest with. But I would encourage you, stop and ask God if you could maybe wait on it for a little bit. And then the second question that I would ask yourself, that I really feel like the Lord kind of revealed to me was, Joy, your feelings are really real right now, but they're not always right. And I was like, what? Because I think we live in a culture that it says that, you know, if you're feeling something really real, I mean, that's what's going on, and no one can deny your feelings. You know, if you've ever taken a communications class or a counseling course, you know that one of the tactics that we encourage people to do is if you're in conflict, instead of saying to someone, you always do this, you know, rather just say, you know, when you did this, it made me feel. And that's just so much more approachable because no one can deny your feelings. I agree with that. But what I disagree with is us saying that because we're feeling something that it's automatically right. Say, Say you're going into a store and you see a cashier that's just some young punk kid, and you're like, I don't trust that person. They're rubbing me the wrong way. They're watching me. I don't like that. Whatever. So you go up and you're purchasing your stuff, and then you get your change, and it's just as you figured. They thought you wouldn't notice, but they tried to take some of your money. They thought you'd just go on your way, and you caught them, and you're like,
oh, you tried to screw me over. You tried to take some of my money.
And that's what you're feeling and thinking inside, but because there's like a line of 10 people behind you, you're like, okay, bring it down. You're like,
excuse me, can you just look at this receipt and count the change again?
Because they tried to take your money. But then they do, and they did give you the correct change, and you were wrong. Now, were your feelings 10 seconds ago not there? No, they were there. They were really real. You were feeling that rage and that injustice, but you were wrong. So then we get into a relationship, and that's where I just want to encourage you that practicing restraint that you did in line can take place in relationships too. But we often don't do that because we trust that person, we feel safe with them, and they should be able to handle our emotions and our feelings at that time. But I just think that can overwhelm people, especially if you believe my premise that sometimes our feelings can be wrong. So that's my encouragement. Take stock on your emotions, pray about it, and ask the Lord, okay, what I'm feeling right now, it's real, but is it right?
On the next Ask Joy, Joy addresses the Great Unicorn Helmet epidemic of 2012.
I don't know how else to tell you my concern or the severity of this issue, but if you continue to ride bikes without a helmet, Stephen, I'm talking. I know it's difficult to find a helmet that fits, but this is a city of bicyclists, and you need to be safe. You really do. Come on. I expect more of you guys. When I go off to work to make money to buy you guys more miracles. What?